Welcome to TBR, the To Be Read podcast. This is episode 4, and we're going to talk about books, authors in the industry. I'm Patrick Stemp, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Archer Caldwell and Michael Laron, who's back from some sort of vacation after last week. How's it going, guys?
Good, how are you?
Good to be
Good.
back.
I know you weren't actually on vacation, Michael, but
Yeah.
it's good to have you back. Archer, you were on vacation.
I actually was on vacation, yes.
How was it?
It was good. It was relaxing. It was a nice week to just do a lot of reading. So back in the grind of it's July 1st, which means it's a month end. I know it's a month beginning for everybody else, but in accounting, the month has closed, and so holy moly, yeah, it's gonna be a fun 12 days. We'll see what July 8th brings us.
So you're ready for another vacation?
I am, and it's on the calendar.
Oh, yeah?
Nice.
Yeah.
When's that going to happen?
28th.
28th of some
July.
month in 2016?
No, July 28th.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, that's quick.
Soon.
No, with my big old decision, I inserted a lot of vacation time. So
Oh, that's good. So after 5 years of no vacation,
I get two back.
the
Almost up for
dam,
it.
the dam has kind of broken, I guess.
Holy crap!
You can't keep this guy in his cubicle.
So you got like 5 years of vacation, like you've kind of been banking. So you've got like 6 months of vacation accrued. Or?
Well, no, because I've switched jobs enough to where I always exhausted. But that's the thing is, whenever I leave, all of a sudden people hand me this big paycheck, like you suck, and so yeah. So I'm gonna use them now. They're mine. I'm taking them.
That's good. Good. Yeah, you got to take that time.
Yeah.
So how's the reading been going? What'd you read this week?
I read continuation of what we were talking about last week. So for those of you new to our show, I was reading a experiment. I don't know if it's the right word or not, but two independent authors, Sean Platt and Johnny B. Truant, took a challenge through the Kickstarter campaign and wrote an entire book, 95,000 words, so a full book in the span of 30 days. And I was lucky enough to be a part of that, and so I read The Dream Engine was their novel that they wrote. It's a YA novel, takes place in, maybe it's Earth, maybe it's not. It's not too fantastical to where it can't be, but they don't really pin it down to any one world, but it could definitely take place here. It's about a girl who is struggling between two lands in this dream environment of Altera. A great story. It's really well written. It's paced well. For those of you who don't know the two authors, they actually have a podcast that shows how they self-publish on the Self-Publishing podcast. I'll put the links in the show notes to reach them. And the novel itself will be available in all the usual places. It'll be electronic as well as print, circling back to what we talked about last week. However you want to read it, it'll be there for you to read, and that should come out in later July. I want to say the 24th, but it is if you want to see it beforehand, you can go to fictionunboxed.com. That was their campaign of showing how you write a book from 0 to 100 in the span of 30 days. Fictionunboxed.com, you can sign up and you can get all of the access of what they did, from the original story ideas to all of the drafts, all of the edits, all of the polishes, any emergency meeting that they had that pertained to that story is all in that one environment. Or if you just want to read a good book, hang out for another month or so, and you can find it on all the usual places. It'll be on Amazon, it'll be on Kobo, it'll be available in Amazon for both ebook and print. But that took my entire week. I actually am the continuity editor for those guys, and so I had to read it and make sure that if anyone had blue eyes in chapter 1, they still had blue eyes in chapter 12. But I also went back and read it a second time for an overall feel and make sure that things were going through. It was a robust process. They write in tandem, and then they handed it off to their actual copy editor, and then I read it for continuity.
Cool.
Cool.
Good book though. very, very well written. I thought going into it you're going to have gaps and hiccups and something that you have to just kind of gut out in 30 days, but I don't think they sacrificed any sort of quality for the speed in which they wrote.
That might actually be one. I haven't read that. I was thinking that might be one that I could try, like the Whisper Sync. Once the audiobook is available, and is that Michael? I know you've done that. Is that an Amazon thing specifically, Whisper Sync? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Kindle thing. I'm not sure when they release the book. I think it takes a couple of weeks for Amazon to clarify, or for them. It goes into like a clearinghouse, and it takes a couple of weeks for them to approve it in the Whisper Sync system. Not all the books actually get approved. I guess not to shamelessly self-plug or anything, but I just released an audiobook, and it's not in Whisper Sync yet. So I think Audible and Amazon have to verify it before.
Yeah, because I guess they have to do something to the audio file to
take.
They must have to.
I would imagine it.
But to that point,
I would imagine it would be.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I would say to that point, there is an audiobook, and it's being professionally done. It's in the middle of recording right now, so if it qualifies, and from a quality standpoint, I would think it's well worth the quality. That should be something, and if not from a Whisper Sync standpoint. The individual doing the audio read is Ray Chase. He's a great voice actor, does a lot of audiobooks beyond just this one. He also has a YouTube channel. I can put the link in the show notes. More of a sketch comedy kind of stuff. But he's doing the audio read for that, and that is well underway. I would think that once this late July comes out, it's going to be, if you want an e-copy, you have that. If you want paperback, hard copy, and audiobook, should be, all gamuts of accessibility.
Cool. So what's on your plate for this week's reading then?
So for this week, I do want to get back to stuff that I like to read, and I went back to my closet, and a book that was gathering dust that I haven't talked about in a while is Elmore Leonard's Road Dogs. It's an older book that I just I grabbed one day when I was strolling through the bookstore and saw it for, I don't know, $3.99, $4.99. So I was like, hey, it's Elmore Leonard. I'm buying it.
How about you, Michael?
Yeah, my reading this week has kind of been erratic, but I did read a book by a guy that Facebooked me. It was kind of a serendipitous, is that the right word? Serendipitous? Yeah, serendipitous request, actually. It was an author from India. I happened to be friends with him through Facebook through a mutual friend. And he'd written a book and asked if I'd like to read it. And normally when you get those kind of solicitations, you're like, oh no, right? But I actually read it, and it was actually quite good. The author is Shirish Jugari. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly. And the book is called The Noble Terror. And it's a literary fiction book, and it's about a family in modern-day India with several different religious views. The son is kind of being brought up Christian and kind of being brought up in a modernized society. And his parents both have different religious viewpoints. His father's an atheist, and his mother is very devout religious. And it's kind of about how they reconcile all of their religious thoughts and beliefs, and very much a story about the old India versus the new India, which is a society full of all kinds of different religious beliefs and religious diversity. And it was really he did a good job of getting inside the head of the mom, the dad, and the son, so much that they really felt like distinct characters, and you really felt like there was just a lot to explore. So I did enjoy that book, and I actually reviewed it for him. And if anyone likes literary fiction and they like, it's a short novella. I think it's like 40,000 words. It's not very long. And if anyone's interested in that kind of thing, I would definitely recommend that you check it out.
Cool. And what's on the docket for this week?
Yeah. On the docket this week, I'll definitely be reading The Dream Engine. Seeing as I backed the Kickstarter campaign, I gotta drop everything I'm doing to read that. It sounds awesome. And I'm also going to be reading The Loners by Lex Thomas that Archer recommended. I read the first couple of chapters and definitely love it so far.
It's good book. No, it picks up. I think with that one, as you I guess probably any story. There's a little bit of a lull as it gets through the middle part, but when it picks back up, man, it picks back up. You'll like it. You'll like it a lot, Michael. So that
Good.
brings it to you, Big White.
Yeah, sorry, I was just I flipped over to
Yeah,
YouTube.
I mean, it's like Lord of the Flies, but in high school. Yeah.
Seems like we've got a little bit of a lag here tonight. Are you guys
Maybe
experiencing that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
a little bit
sorry.
of a lag.
I was just saying good evening to Buddy Gott, who's in the comments tonight.
Buddy.
Just saying, woohoo, I finally get to watch a live show.
Hey, buddy.
And
Welcome.
that he also got his copy of The Dream Engine last night, and he's
Nice.
going to be reading that. So I stepped away for a second there. Oh, it looks like Archer stepped away, so I'll wait till he comes back.
I'm back.
Oh, you're back. I was just going to show you this. I snagged this from my parents yesterday. It'll be something I'll be reading soon. I don't know if you can see that.
Nice.
Have you read his short Western stories, Elmore Leonard?
No, I haven't. That's awesome.
It's a big one. I don't know when I'll get to it, but it's on the list. And I'll also be reading The Loners. I think that I got that from the library, so when you do that, obviously that kind of skips things to the front of your to-be-read list because you've only got them for a couple weeks. So
Yeah.
It's a quick read. It's a quick read.
Yeah. So the book I read this week was Sybil Byrne, which is one I've been.
That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah, I've been talking about Sybil Byrne a few times, and I wanted to get to it. It's the fourth book in a series called The Expanse. And I'm going to flip over real quick if I can, just to show you some of the book covers in this series because they are gorgeous. Can you see that?
Yeah, I grabbed that one for our website, so it is very pretty.
Yeah, so this is the fourth book in the series, and I'll just flip through real quick while I'm talking and show you the other covers. The first book in the series, you should be seeing that, is called Leviathan Wakes, and that one was nominated for it was released in 2011. I think it was nominated for a Hugo in 2012. This is the second book, Caliban's War. I just love these covers.
Mm-hmm.
And the third book is Abaddon's Gate, and that came out last year. So let me on-screen share here. Am I back?
Yep.
So finished the book today. I enjoyed it a great deal. It's as I said, the fourth book in a series. Unlike the other series that I read, the last one that I talked about, which was Robogenesis and Robopocalypse, which there was like 3 or 4 years in between books. This is a series that I would recommend that people pick up right away and start reading because, first of all, it does seem like there's going to be a fifth book in the series, but they're coming out, it seems like once a year. So there's no 3-4 year wait in between books. So it's the kind of thing that I think you could pick up and start reading. The series, I mean, it's space opera at its finest, I think. It's about Earth versus Mars, the inner planets versus what they call the belters, so the people working in the asteroid belts and the outer planets. Martian army, terrorists, aliens. There's a alien proto-molecule that's doing terrible thing to people. The crew so it centers around the crew of this one spaceship. They're sort of the main focus of each story, and each story sort of has 2 or 3 different viewpoints. But the primary sort of characters in the book are Jim Holden, who's the captain of this little ship, and his crew. And they really kind of make me think a little bit of the Firefly, Serenity. There's a real, it's about family and the relationships of the crew. There's a lot of humor there and sort of sticking up for each other and things like that. Jim Holden he's a great character. He's somebody who, right away in kind of the first book, he gets a hold of. This is another series that's difficult to talk about a little bit because you don't want to spoil book 4 by talking about even book 1. So Jim Holden's the kind of guy who, if he has information in his hands that nobody wants to kind of get out in the public, he says, "Screw you," and releases it to the public so everybody knows. I guess he figures if everybody knows it, it's nobody can do anything with the secrets. Anyway, I just found out today, actually, and just kind of poking around on the internet looking for this stuff, that is it Sci-Fi, the television network, has bought like 10 episodes of, I'm assuming, probably the first story, Leviathan Wakes. They're going to, I think that happened a couple months ago, so it'll probably be a year or two before we see it on TV, but I have no idea who's going to be in it, but that'll be cool. There's also a couple short stories in the series. So if you like space opera and you like, the relationships on a small ship, kind of that Firefly Serenity sort of thing, highly, highly recommend it. And it's a series that I would recommend reading now, even though it's not done. And that was the only book I managed to get through this week, because it's hard to find time to read.
What a segue.
There you go.
Absolutely. Nice transition into our topic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, our topic this week was how do you find the time to read? And it can be tough. So, we put out our blog posts as usual, I think a couple days ago, Archer. And I guess sort of my big take on finding the time to read was really about priorities. So reading is a huge priority for me. It's something I love to do. It's something I do. It's as a hobby and because I love it, but also because I think it'll help professionally as I get into the writing more and more. I don't think you'd ever hear somebody who makes movies saying they don't watch movies. So as authors, I think we would all agree that it's
Right.
it's hugely important to consume the thing that you're hoping on producing, right? So I don't watch a lot of TV. Michael, you and I were talking about this a little bit in email. I gave up pretty much completely playing video games about probably 6 or 7 months ago.
Yep.
It was just
Big
something
time
that had.
suck.
Oh yeah, it was just something that had to go. So and honestly, I haven't missed it all that much, and it's given me some time. But even doing that, there are weeks where it can be tough. This is one of the kind of callback to what we talked about last week about sort of ebooks versus paper. It's kind of nice. It helps to have the cloud readers and all that kind of stuff on your phone, because then you literally can just turn on your phone and read for 5 minutes if you're waiting in line somewhere. How about you guys? Do you got all the time in the world to read? You're about to have a lot less, Michael.
Yeah. Well, when I graduated from college, it was a constant work in progress trying to find the time to read, and I got really good at it. To me, I always look at it as an opportunity. It's not so much about not having the time; it's about where can I find the time. So, yeah, I read in the bathroom, on the can. I mean, what do they say? The average American spends or average person spends like 3,000. I don't know what is it? A third of their life or something like that. I don't know, but it was some crazy statistic about
God,
how
not
much
on the
time they actually
toilet,
spend in
I
the
hope.
bathroom. Just imagine how many
Oh,
books you can actually read during that period. I don't know. I'll have to find that statistic, but I used it for one of my books. That's why I know. But yeah, I mean, you have to find the time and you have to make it. And like, for example, my wife and I go to the mall. If she's going to go to one of her stores, I'm not going to follow her around. I'm going to go find a couch and sit and read a book for 20 minutes. And if I'm at work and, it's a downtime or take a break, sneak out and read a chapter or so. I mean, it's just the little things add up. It used to be awesome when when I was in college. I'd have all this time to read. Like you come back from class and you have like 4 hours with nothing to do, and you just sit in a chair and read. But just I don't know. I guess that's the challenge of getting older, is just finding that time rather than using these huge swaths of it that you have during the day that you don't have anymore because you have to work.
Yep.
No, that's exactly it. I mean, I work 50 hours on a good week, 80 hours on a rougher week. So it's hard for me to justify pockets of time for frivolity. But in addition to that, my side job is actually reading what other people do. So on any given week, I'm probably reading an entire novel with a critical eye, and then I try and read at least 45 minutes, maybe an hour for fun. In doing that, obviously, the better the book, the more inclined you are to sit down and read an extra chapter, and if it's a page turner, that's why they call it that. But What I'll try and do now is in the morning, we have a treadmill, and I'll walk, and rather than watch the news or listen to radio, is as odd as it is. Now going back to last week, having an e-reader, you don't have to hold and flip papers. You can just kind of put it in there, and our treadmill has a little docking station where you can set
That's cool.
an iPad or a Kindle in there. And so while it's not ideal and you don't read nearly as much, and it's better for me to reread something when I'm doing that, but there's a little bit of time there.
Oh, Archer stepped out.
Oh, okay.
We lost him.
Yeah, he.
Are you back?
Am I back? Am I back? I have been dropping.
There you
go.
There you go. Sorry.
It's laggy tonight. I don't know what it is.
No, it's clear weather, but apparently my internet just doesn't want to cooperate today, so I apologize. Bottom line, I'll try and find at the end of the day, rather than sitting down and watching a sitcom or even evening news, I'll read a book.
Yeah, it's all about making those choices, right?
Yep.
About how you're going to spend your time. So we've got.
That's how you have to. You have to be intentional about it. I mean, it has.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it has to be something you want to do.
So we've got LM Stull in the comments telling me I look like Eminem.
Gangsta.
Said I didn't know if I should be flattered or horrified. She said I could go with flattered, so that's
best comment of the night, hands
That's
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. All you need is a name tag. Hello.
So both fiancés are watching? Congratulations, both of you.
Yeah, but huge shout out to Buddy Gott and Lisa. Ellen Stoll got engaged here this past week. It's pretty awesome.
Yes, I don't care if that's playing inside baseball. That's awesome, guys.
Man, this lag is killing me tonight. Yeah.
Want to fight? Fight me! All right. Okay. Cool. We're done. Yeah.
Is Patrick frozen or?
I can see him talking, but I can't.
Sorry, I was muted.
Yeah.
I don't always see the little red light on my. I don't.
It was all the. It was
way to go, Google. Yeah.
We try and keep it clean. It was all the Eminem lyrics. I just muted that out right away.
There you go. I was rapping for sure.
Yeah. Just gotta play some Eminem music live.
I'm not a fan of rap.
That's not infringing any copyrights.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of rap by any means, but I've watched that is it Rap God video a bunch of times because that stuff's pretty amazing. There's that lag again.
Never seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it? You should check it out.
This is terrible. No, never seen it. Rap God.
That's a good video. No, I mean I did 25 years in Detroit, so I like Eminem. The one thing, I know this isn't books, but I don't care. He stayed close to home, and that's the one thing that you can say for a lot of Detroit artists that they didn't stay. And there's a bit of grit and grime that people are proud of in the Motor City, and I got the heck out of town. But those who stayed, good for them.
I'm just flipping over to YouTube here to see if we've got any new comments. You can talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something to be said about that. Yeah, I would say there's definitely something to be said about sticking around your hometown and staying and being a role model, all that kind of stuff. Definitely have a lot of respect for people that can do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy, especially in a place like Detroit, just to get out and never come back, never look back.
I did myself. It's just, I mean, I'm not a rapper. I'm a accountant. So
from Detroit,
facility
South Carolina.
Yeah, exactly. But it made sense for me.
You're a gangster in your own right.
Exactly right. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're coming up on half an hour, and this lag is absolutely killing us.
So hey guys, welcome to the show. It's really cool. I had a great week.
Awful. Yeah. My name is Michael Laron, by the way.
Let me drop off one more time. With that, before we head out though,
Yeah.
I did make some updates. So if
Let's just end this before.
Yeah, no. Let's just we'll end professionally here. So TBRpodcast.com has been updated. So if you go out to the front page, this show, train wreck or not, will be there. And then along the right side is where we have the archive. So episodes 1, 2, and 3 are already out there. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 will be on iTunes if you want to get it from there. And if you don't like iTunes, you can just directly download the audio link as an MP3 from the TBR podcast.com site. We also have on the second page our blog. So what we'll have to start doing is being a little bit more proactive in promoting our blog. So if you like listening to us ramble on, we actually have coherent commentary in written form on our website as well. And then lastly, based off of some feedback that we had from the earlier podcast, we have the books that we have commented on so far on the third page. And what I'll do there is add links to either the author website or their Amazon page if they don't have a website per se.
Cool.
So you can grab them. That part isn't up there, but right now all of our podcasts are there, all of our blog posts are there, and now at least images of the books that we have commented on thus far are ready for you to peruse.
Cool. And
TBRpodcast.com. It's nothing with slashes or links or anything like that.
And what's the timeline we're looking at there? I think we're putting the blog posts up on Sunday night.
Blog posts typically go up on Sunday night. The current episode will go up on our website as soon as we finish here, and then typically before we go live with the next one, the last one hits iTunes.
Cool. Just taking one last look at YouTube for any new comments. It doesn't look like anybody has anything to add. Thanks for watching, guys. Buddy and LM.
Yeah, thanks again. Congrats. Awesome for you guys.
Okay. So we'll talk to you guys next week.
Maybe there's a lag.
Have a good one, guys.
Hey, thanks.
All right. See you then.